Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Chris Mason and me, Laxmi Gopal.
Our headlines today: on the brink of history, England's footballers prepare to take on Italy in tonight's European Championship final, their biggest match in more than half a century.
Their resilience and experiences as a team have really prepared them well for this moment.
The Queen sends a message of support and praises the spirit and commitment of the team.
At 8 o'clock tonight, the hopes of millions will focus on Wembley. This morning, we'll assess England's chances with some of those closest to the team.
And we'll speak to some of those who remember the last time England made it to a major final, that famous World Cup win in 1966.
Won't be the first time you've heard that today, but it won't be the last, I suspect. Could this song be more relevant than ever? Three Lions composer Ian Brodie will tell us whether he thinks football really is coming home.
Yes, could it be? Well, away from the Euros, Wimbledon has a new champion. Ash Barty says it's better than she ever imagined after taking the title for the first time.
Good morning. It's a busy day of sport ahead. But what does the weather hold in store? I'll have a full forecast for you in around about a quarter of an hour.
Good morning. Just gone 6 o'clock, or in today's money, 14 hours to go, I think we'll be saying. Sunday, the 11th of July, a date that will go down in history as the day that England took on Italy in the final of the European Championship.
Yes, millions of England fans are waking up this morning with the hope that finally, just finally, the men's team could lift their first major trophy since 1966.
In the build-up to the game, the Queen, the Duke of Cambridge and the Prime Minister have all sent messages of support. Ollie Foster reports from Wembley.
When the final whistle blows at Wembley tonight, the wait could be over. An England team that you can mention in the same breath as the heroes of 1966. For too long, that history has weighed them down. Those golden generations expected to emulate what Sir Alf Ramsey achieved with his team. This class of 2021 under Gareth Southgate has perhaps the best chance yet. They've never been closer.
This was our moment to represent our time. The near misses and the tournaments that haven't gone so well weren't important for this team, and over the last 4 years they've knocked down so many barriers and they've come through so many different challenges, different ways to win matches, had to come back from being behind, had to go through extra time, had to go through penalty shootouts. So their resilience and experiences as a team have really prepared them well for this moment.
Tonight's trophy presentation will be held on the pitch, but 55 years ago, Bobby Moore led his England players up those famous steps to the Royal Box at the old Wembley, where the Queen presented them with the World Cup. Her Majesty has sent a message to Gareth Southgate.
In it, she congratulated the team for reaching the final, but also expressed her hope that history will record not only their success, but also the spirit, commitment and pride with which they've conducted themselves. On the journey to London yesterday, the players were reminded just what this means to the nation. From the local villages in Staffordshire turning out to line the route as they left their training base, to the welcome they received as they arrived at their hotel. The players even received a good luck message from Tom Cruise yesterday. The captain knows that this mission will be all the more possible with home support.
To see the fans on the street like they have been, and see the reception that we've had as we've pulled into the hotel here and as we was leaving St George's Park, is just showing us how big an occasion it is. We know how much it means to the English fans all over the country, so we're proud to be representing them.
Kane's extra-time goal on Wednesday night against Denmark broke their long semi-final curse at major championships. He also scored against Germany. Every obstacle that has proved too much for previous Englands has been cleared.
They'll be remembered forever. You're talking about putting yourself amongst the names of greats. All of a sudden, we've got this wonderful crop of players we can be proud of, who are going to be remembered forever for this tournament if they win it. And the scary thing is that so many of them are only in the infancy of their footballing careers. It puts them in a realm of greatness that I don't think any of those players probably yet understand.
We haven't forgotten about Italy, a team unbeaten in 3 years. They were pushed very close in their semi-final by Spain, though. They went through on penalties. England will have to up their game again, but the Italian manager, Roberto Mancini, says England will have a huge advantage with home support. And wherever they're watching, English fans might well be singing this tonight. The lyrics, though, are sometimes lost in translation, with one Italian journalist asking the manager if they came across as arrogant.
You have to know the English to understand our humour, and our humour is probably quite unique, but it's certainly not arrogant. The lyrics are making fun of ourselves, really, and the things that have gone wrong. So we've got a couple of replacements that have seemed to have come in now in terms of songs as well, which is nice to keep moving things forward.
A new tune for a new era of English football, and how sweet it promises to be. Ollie Foster, BBC News, Wembley.
Oh, blimey, I'm excited already watching that, and we've got hours to wait. Let's talk to Austin Halewood, who's on at Wembley Way. Morning to you, Austin. A little quiet at the moment because it's only just gone 6 in the morning, but I've got a funny feeling you're going to have quite a bit of company later on.
I think you might be right, Chris. Yeah, good morning. The excitement is certainly building within just the few people who are here. But as you say, things are a little bit quieter now. It's very much the quiet and the calm before the storm of what's to come later on in just under 14 hours' time. But 60,000 people have that lucky golden ticket to get inside Wembley Stadium behind me for the game. And they're going to start coming as the afternoon wears on. Wembley Way here is going to start getting busier and busier. I'm sure we'll be hearing Three Lions and maybe even Sweet Caroline. The sounds of both those songs growing louder and louder as the afternoon wears on. But for the England team themselves, it's a much calmer and quieter build-up to the game today. They had their final training session yesterday at their training base at St George's Park, and then the team left for their hotel last night in London, much closer to the stadium, and head coach Gareth Southgate said everything's done now. There's not much more that he can teach the team. They had a night off last night, and then today there's just going to be a couple of meetings, perhaps a few chats about tactics and set plays, but nothing too strenuous, nothing much for the team to do this afternoon. Just relaxation ahead of course, the big game when they arrive just a few hours before tonight. And if you're not lucky enough to have a ticket, then of course pubs are open till 11:15, which is great for people to watch from home, and of course you can watch it across the BBC.
Soak up that atmosphere as it builds, Austin. We'll talk to you later. Austin Halewood at Wembley.
Right, let's take a short break from the football now to bring you some of the day's other news. The number of people on NHS waiting lists in England could reach 13 million in the coming months. That's according to the Health Secretary. There are currently 5.3 million people waiting for treatment, but health officials have warned the situation could get worse. Sajid Javid has promised to make tackling the backlog a priority and says England remains on course to fully reopen a week tomorrow.
Face coverings will still be mandatory in Wales in certain circumstances, even after COVID restrictions are relaxed. Welsh ministers will decide this week whether to release the alert level to 0, but they say masks will still be required by law on public transport and in health and social care settings for as long as COVID remains a threat.
Sir Richard Branson is preparing to fly to the edge of space today. As you do, the businessman and his Virgin Galactic crew will take off from New Mexico at around 2 o'clock this afternoon UK time.
It's one way to take your mind off the football, isn't it? Before kick-off, just nip up to space. It comes just 9 days before another high-profile entrepreneur, the Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, is planning his own space launch. Tim Allman has more.
Billionaire entrepreneurs heading into space are a bit like buses. You wait ages and then two come along almost at once. First up, Sir Richard Branson and his Unity rocket plane. Taking off from a spaceport in New Mexico, the Virgin Galactic crew should reach a height of 50 miles or 80 kilometres above the Earth's surface. According to NASA, that's where the atmosphere ends, so Sir Richard will officially become an astronaut.
I've always been a dreamer. My mum taught me to never give up and to reach for the stars. This July, our dream will become a reality. and we're really excited to share that moment with you all.
The Virgin Galactic programme stretches back nearly 20 years and hasn't always gone smoothly. In 2014, a pilot was killed during a test flight over the Mojave Desert. This is only the beginning. Soon enough, Jeff Bezos will take off in his Blue Origin rocket. Some critics say this is simply the folly of rich men and question the logic of commercial space travel when the skies are already full of junk. But for others, it's all about reaching for the stars.
This is an attempt to regularise access to space. This is about getting economically achievable access to the industrialisation of space as well. So it's a really important flight.
Virgin Galactic plan to start commercial services in 2022 and say they could be running 100 flights a year 12 months later. For Sir Richard Branson, this is one small step for a billionaire, one giant leap for mankind. Tim Allman, BBC News.
Parts of the United States are braced for more record-breaking temperatures, having already endured the hottest June on record. Death Valley in California hit a high of 54.4 degrees Celsius on Friday, reportedly the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Forecasters are warning that most of the state, as well as nearby Nevada, will remain dangerously hot, fueling fears of more wildfires.
See the headlines as they happen and watch BBC News live in the app and get the full story with bbc.co.uk/news. Follow the story for all the latest with BBC News.